This is Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl. Now from the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, here's your host, Eric Wilson.
Welcome and happy Easter weekend. Thanks for spending part of it with us. We have an exciting Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl set for you. We're running out of space in our tournament. There's basically only 2 seats left for anyone who wants to move on. After today, there will only be one. And one of these teams will advance to our Final Four. Will it be the Belvidere North Blue Thunder? Let's give them a round of applause. On the strength of Scotty's 8 correct buzz-ins, last year's runner-up shut out Dixon in the final challenge. That final score was 380 to 120. Nice work, Scotty. Captain Spencer, that's a pretty tough score to match, but you guys, both of our teams up here have the talent to do that. We'll see if we do once the questions start rolling. But first, Spencer, introduce us to your starting lineup.
All right, so on my left, I have Scotty, and then James and Billy.
Welcome, Belvidere North Blue Thunder, and good luck. Playing against the Hononegah Indians today, led by their smiling Captain Grant. Not to be outdone, the Indians advanced courtesy of Grant's 9 correct answers in their last game. A win today gets them to the Final Four for the first time since Season 2. That would be sweet, wouldn't it, Grant?
Absolutely.
Introduce us to who you brought with you today.
All right, on my right is Joseph, on my left Ethan, and on my far left, birthday boy Sebastian.
Yes, and so in TV time, this is a few weeks away, but the day we tape this, it happens to be Sebastian's birthday, which would explain the birthday cake. And happy birthday. We'll sing happy birthday to you in the break, Sebastian. We want to get to gameplay right now. The buzz-in round is how we start, contestants, so grab your buzzers. 2 most important rules. Wait for me to call your name. Say your answer loudly and clearly. Here we go. Good luck to both teams. What color names a sports team coached by Kevin Stefanski that plays in First Energy Stadium, as well as Joseph?
Brown.
Yes, Rhode Island's only Ivy League school. Hononegah earns the first points of the game. What 2021 film in which an actor named Trevor Slattery befriends the faceless being Morris? Spencer?
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yes, you got the full title there. We can't give you bonus points, but nice work. Aquafina also stars in that as Katie. Hononegah's now got some points. Or Belvidere, sorry. Belvidere North has some points. What mathematician's 1748 namesake identity involves the numbers -1, I, pi? Joseph?
Euler.
Yes, that is correct. And a number named for him, the natural logarithmic base E. One of the minority owners of Major League Soccer's Seattle Sounders is what quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks? Billy?
Russell Wilson.
That's right. My cousin Russell. Played in 2 Super Bowls, won Super Bowl 48 in 2013. North gets those points. What weapon, sometimes conflated with the sword in the stone, did the Lady of the Lake give to King Arthur? Ethan?
Excalibur.
Yes, also a Las Vegas hotel. What city, which grew around the British encampment Fort William, is a city in East India where, in 1756, British prisoners were held in a black hole? James?
Rangoon.
Incorrect. Hononegah, you could take these points. Go ahead, Grant.
Mumbai.
Incorrect. Kolkata. Or we would have taken Calcutta. Either one of those. What man who worked with Frederick Auguste Bartholdi to design the framework of the Statue of Liberty? Grant.
Borglum.
Incorrect. I will finish for Belvedere. Names a wrought iron lattice tower? James.
Eiffel.
That is correct. In Paris. Gustave Eiffel. In what musical by Howard Ashman and Alan Menken does a dentist suffocate on laughing gas before being fed to the carnivorous plant Audrey 2? Ethan.
Little Shop of Horrors.
That is correct. You could have seen it this past summer at Rock Valley College's Starlight Theater. What show that stars Sonequa Martin Green as Captain Michael Burnham is a CBS All-Access series named for a spaceship in the Star Trek universe? Sebastian.
Voyager.
Incorrect. Belvidere North, you could take these points. James.
Enterprise.
Incorrect. That is a very good guess. Discovery. Star Trek Discovery is the name of that series. What new religion, founded by Li Hongzhi, operates the Shenyun dance troupe, focuses on meditation, and is opposed by the Chinese government? Chinese government actually considers this a cult, Falun Gong. What Supreme Court case, which cited research on dolls by Kenneth and Mamie Clark, overturned Plessy versus Ferguson and desegregated public... Scotty.
Brown versus Board of Education.
Yes. Public schools was the only word I didn't get to in that. You are now tied. An introverted high school student named Charlie befriends step-siblings Sam and Patrick in what young adult novel by Stephen Chbosky? Ethan.
Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Yes, you got it. Very good. Took a couple of seconds to think there. That's all you needed. Plenty of time before the buzzer. Actually, a 2012 film with Emma Watson, Paul Rudd, and Dylan McDermott. Hononegah's points. What type of enzyme catalyzes phosphorylation, the transfer of phosphate groups between molecules? Grant.
ATP.
Incorrect. Belvidere North. You could tie it up with this. Scotty.
Catalase.
Incorrect. Kinases. And that's our time for the round. That's where we end. Tight game, almost question for question between our two teams. Very rare no answers. That was one of them. We are moving on to our volleyball round next with only a 10-point swing between Hononegah and Belvidere North. This is going to be close all the way to the wire. We can feel it. We'll see you for the next round in a couple minutes. Close game so far, only one question between our two teams. As we stand right now, Hononegah's on top 50-40. Of course, that'll change as this game progresses quite a bit with all these points available. Before we get to some more points in our volleyball round, a very special thank you to our judge today, Jed Trias. He is spending some time with us. We are grateful for that. And he's here because he is actually our second former Jeopardy contestant who is here as a judge, keeping an eye on things for us, so we really appreciate it. His day job, of course, is the Director of Design for Larson & Darby. But again, we really, really appreciate you spending some time with us. Jed, let's move on to our volleyball contestants. You can work as a team. That's part of this round, but the answers must come from the captains. Because of our flip, Belvidere North is going first. Spencer, are you ready for your first question?
Yes.
Here it comes. Examples of what animals in Norse myth include Hati and Skull, who chase the sun and moon, and a child of Loki who bit off Tyr's hand named Fenrir?
Wolf.
Yep, those are all wolves. Nice work. First points of the round go to you. Game's tied. Over to Hononegah. Cyclotrons and synchrotrons are examples of what large machines that cause charged particles to hit each other at high velocities?
Colliders. Particle colliders.
We'll take that. Yeah, that's right. Particle accelerators, colliders. Actually, there are several of these just down the road over at Fermilab. Back over to Belvidere North. What country is home to Lake Sevan, was the first country in the world to adopt Christianity as its official religion, and is governed from Yerevan?
Is it Yemen?
Buzzer got you. I heard some of the deliberation there, but I didn't hear anybody say this name. Armenia is the country we needed. Back over to Hononegah. The 1854 Ostend Manifesto, co-written by James Buchanan, argued the U.S. should either purchase or seize what island?
Cuba.
Yes, you got it. Seemed like a consensus there. Buchanan wasn't president yet. Supporters wanted this to expand U.S. slave territory. Back over to Belvidere North. What agency, which sent a 1964 suicide letter to Martin Luther King Jr. through its COINTELPRO project, surveillance project, was first led by J. Edgar Hoover?
FBI.
FBI is correct. Thank you for even me struggling with that question. You got it correct. And those are your points. We're back over now to Hononegah. What English woman's essay, A Room of One's Own, describes the barriers that would have hindered the writing career of a hypothetical Judith Shakespeare?
It's not. Dickinson.
Incorrect. She also lends her name to an Edward Albee play, Virginia Woolf. That play is Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. We're back over to Belvidere. What process that generates an antineutrino, a proton, and an electron leaves the mass number of a nucleus unchanged when a neutron decays?
Beta radiation.
You got it right at the buzzer. Beta decay is correct. Alpha, beta, gamma were your three choices. Belvidere North gets those quick 10. What laboratory technique utilizes Taq polymerase and primers to amplify a specific DNA sequence?
What's it called?
It also names the type of COVID test, which we've all heard a lot about in the last couple of years, polymerase chain reaction, or PCR. Back to Belvidere North. What artist who painted The Marriage of the Virgin in 1504 depicted a discussion between Plato and Aristotle at the center of the School of Athens?
Raphael.
That is correct. It's actually on display at the Vatican Museum as well. And we are out of time for the round. So with that final question, Belvidere North is on top by 10 points, 80 to 70. It's going to be close all game, so let's just sit back and enjoy it, shall we? Although maybe not so enjoyable for you up here when it's going back and forth like that. We're going to take a quick break, maybe catch our breath, and come back with a Bergstrom bonus question. You get to see that question first before our contestants do. It's next.
Originally known as the Browns, what Major League Baseball team currently calls Busch Stadium in St. Louis home?
We just had a lead change here in the Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Belvidere North on top now by 10 points. One question, basically 80 to 70. Before we get to our NECA IBEW lightning round, let's do the Bergstrom bonus question. You saw it already at home. Our contestants have not. Hands on your buzzers, contestants. Pizza and pasta from Lino's of Rockford on the line with this question. Originally known as the Browns, what Major League Baseball team currently calls Busch Stadium in Billy?
Cardinals.
That is correct. Busch Stadium in St. Louis home. Cardinals pitchers, this is a fun fact, and you know if it's a baseball question, it comes from our executive producer, Sean. They've thrown 10 no-hitters, but they've never been part of a perfect game. Could this season be the year? Cubs fans are screaming no at their televisions. We'll be back with our NECA IBEW lightning round after this break. Fresh off Billy's win in the Bergstrom bonus question, we are now getting back to some points. In our NECA IBEW lightning round, there are a lot of points on the line. 100 if you run a category. Hasn't happened yet this season. We have had a couple teams come close. Maybe today will be the day. Because of the flip, Grant, you get the first choice. So you and the Indians have these three categories to pick from. C in music, animal phrases, or SH.
Let's try
SH.
Give these words that begin with the letters S and H. Pretty straightforward. You'll have 60 seconds, and then Spencer, you and the Blue Thunder will have 30 seconds for what they don't. Again, advice to both teams, you can pass. You ready for your first one, Grant? Here it comes. Give these words that begin with the letters S and H. To harvest a sheep's wool.
Shear.
Correct. Computer key held down to capitalize a
Shift.
letter. Correct. A style of long fiber carpet popular in the 1970s.
Shag.
Correct. A type of solid, oily cooking fat.
Pass.
Fetters that bind a prisoner's ankles.
Shackles.
Correct. Deadly debris from a bomb.
Shrapnel.
Correct. A non-stop bus or train service that
Shuttle.
Say that again.
Shuttle.
Correct. Tibetan ethnic group whose members are renowned for mountaineering.
Pass.
A victory in which the opponent's score is 0.
Shut out.
Shutout.
Correct. To destroy something by rending it into tatters.
Shred.
Correct. A type of solid, oily cooking fat.
Pass.
Tibetan ethnic.
Sherpa.
Correct. A type of solid, oily cooking fat. There's our buzzer. 9 correct. Very close to running that category. 30 seconds, Spencer, take it all, or just give the answer right away and we can move on. It's all up to you. Here it comes. Give these words that begin with the letters S and H is the category. A type of solid, oily cooking fat.
Shortening.
That is correct, so there's nothing left on the board. Oh, everybody on Hononegah's team. Oh, it's so easy when you hear it, right? Excuse me. Hononegah now has a 70-point lead. It's 160 to 90, but Belvidere North, you could repeat and do the same thing they just did in one of these two categories that are left. So, Spencer, they are C in music or animal phrases.
Animal phrases.
Animal phrases.
All right, that one's yours. You have it. Give the specific name of the animal that completes these English idioms and metaphors. So I will say the metaphor and use the word blank where the name of this animal should appear. Hope that makes sense to both of our teams. Same rules apply, the 60 seconds, 30 seconds, and pass if you need to. You ready, Spencer?
Yes.
Here we go. Give the specific name of the animal that completes these English idioms and metaphors. Like a blank in a china shop.
Bull.
Correct. Make sure your blanks are in a row.
Ducks.
Correct. Let the blank out of the bag.
Cat.
Correct. The straw that broke the blank's back.
Camel.
Correct. Let me address the blank in the room.
Elephant.
Correct. A blank in a coal mine.
Canary.
Canary.
Correct. Casting pearls before blank.
Pass.
To wear a blank around your neck.
Pass.
The blank has turned.
Pass.
Like a blank in the ointment.
Fly.
Correct. Casting pearls before blank.
Oyster.
Incorrect. To wear a blank around your neck.
Snake.
Incorrect. The blank has turned. "30 seconds is a long time when you don't have anything else to answer. That was very solid, and that started out really super fast, huh? There's 3 left, and you could take all 30 seconds if you need it, Grant. Maybe you won't need it all, but I will read them as fast as I can. Give the specific name of the animal that completes these English idioms and metaphors. Casting pearls before blank. Swine. Correct. To wear a blank around your neck.
Pass.
The blank has turned.
Cow.
Incorrect. To wear a blank around your neck.
Cow.
Incorrect. I appreciate you not wanting to take all 30 of those seconds. The only 2 nobody got. To wear an albatross around your neck. It's kind of like a problem you can't escape, and it's kind of an allusion to the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. And the other one, the blank has turned, is the worm has turned, which means someone's situation has changed completely from where it was. We got a 10-point game. How does that feel, contestants? Probably not so great, but it's fun to watch. Right, audience? It's fun to watch. We got a final challenge round where each question is worth 20 points. Expect quite a bit of back and forth in this next round coming up. Oh man, you have picked a good game to watch. There's only 10 points separating our 2 teams as we head into the Mercy Health final challenge. Hononegah has 170, Belvidere North has 160. I just want to point out too that in the break, before we jumped into this round, after that awesome lightning round between both of our teams, each of these teams just unsolicited on their own congratulated each other and told each other how fun this game was to play. No matter who wins, they are excited to be here, and that's really why this game exists. So I just want to give you, the 8 of you up here, a round of applause for that, because it really shows tremendous sportsmanship, and it shows just how exciting this game is. How about a nice round of applause? All right, now we have to decide who's moving on. There's going to be good news, bad news at the end of this game, but let's see who gets to celebrate. 170 to 160, pretty tight. All these questions are 20 points each. You know the rules. And especially when it's this close, I cannot stress enough, wait for me to call your name, say your answer loudly and clearly. Good luck, both teams. Here we go. Anzac Day commemorates the tens of thousands of Australian and James.
Gallipoli.
That's right, casualties of what World War I battle. I'm going to move on quickly. Belvidere North earns the first points of the round. They're on top now. What 20th century Austrian wrote, "You must change your life" in his poem Archaic Torso of Apollo and described angelic orders in his first Duino elegy? Boy, that was hard. Rainer Maria Rilke. New question. Ash clouds may have caused the great dying at the end of what final period of the Paleozoic era, after which dinosaurs emerged in the Triassic? Scotty.
Permian?
Yes, you got it. Scientists say it was the largest extinction in Earth's history, and those are 20 more points for you. In 2021, what company launched the Crew Dragon Resilience? Scotty.
SpaceX.
Yes, and the Inspiration 4 mission was the rest of that question. We'll move on. What city is home to the warrior Deiphobus and the queen Hecuba in a 24-book poem about the wrath of Achilles that is attributed, Grant?
Troy.
Yes, attributed to Homer. Hononegah's got 20 now. What Wampanoag chief lends his name to the war he launched in 1675? Grant.
King Philip.
Yes, against the settlers of Plymouth and other New England colonies. What solo instrument in Max Brooks' Call Nidre was played by Pablo Casals and Jacqueline Dupre and is pitched between the double bass and viola? Grant.
Cello.
Cello is right. You are now on top. What sulfur-containing amino acid has a single codon, AUG, which is also the most common start, Sebastian?
No answer.
Once that's cleared, I will finish for Belvidere North. Most common start codon for protein synthesis. Scotty.
Methionine.
Methionine is right. North has those points. Back on top. What woman who was beheaded after Frances Walsingham proved her support for the Babington plot was a monarch as well as a cousin of Elizabeth I? Spencer.
Mary, Queen of Scots.
That is correct. The plot was a conspiracy to assassinate Elizabeth. North's got 20 more. What modern country was created in 1932 with the unification of the Hijaz and Najd? Spencer.
Saudi Arabia.
Yes, under King Abdulaziz. What type of substance with a continuous phase and a dispersed phase of suspended particles includes gels like gelatin and aerosols like fog? Sebastian.
Liquid.
Incorrect. Belvedere North, you could take these points and go up to 300. Go ahead, Scotty.
Gas.
Incorrect. Colloids. Sir Robert's long ago insider trading deal with Baron Arnheim allows Mrs. Cheveley to blackmail Robert in what 1895 play by Oscar Wilde? James.
The Importance of Being Earnest.
Incorrect. Hononegah. Go ahead, Grant.
Picture of Dorian Gray.
Incorrect. He's probably better known for Ernest or Dorian Gray. This is An Ideal Husband, and that long buzzer means time is up. Belvedere North is moving on. Congratulations. Everybody take a breath because they aren't always this tight. Wow. First of all, congratulations. Moving on to the Final Four, some familiar territory for you. And we have a love-hate relationship with the end of our game because we have to say goodbye, but we also get to recognize our seniors. The seniors on the team? All four of you. All right, well, you have some work to do to build a core team. And first, Sebastian, happy birthday. And Grant, we don't have to say goodbye to you because we'll see you in a few weeks or so during our All-Star game, correct? Though, congratulations, though. Both teams, just to make it to this far is pretty impressive. Thank you again for being here. Happy Easter, and we hope you can join us for our next game when Keith takes on Winnebago. We'll see you then.